Hello everyone. Today we're going to have an interview with Bonnie Borinh. It is a previous WIUU American Program Dean from 2000 to 2005 and also an instructor of marketing programs. So today we're going to discuss a couple of interesting stuff, so keep on watching. Hello Bonnie.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. I'm Yulia.
Nice to meet you, Yulia.
So, first of all, thank you for visiting WIUU and for masterclass here with our students. And according to these small facts, I have an interesting question to you. So, you already was a dean in WIUU and you worked with students. So, did you see a change with students, how they changed after like 10 years? Is this really important change, slight change, or what was it?
I think the difference that I saw was the students still have a lot of good questions like they did before, but I think they're more informed and know more about the world because they have mobiles, yes, and so they can do a lot of research by themselves and find the answers to things. And when I was here before, it was very difficult to even have access to the internet at sometimes, and mobiles were just becoming popular, but it was just for talking from one friend to another. It wasn't
live conversation.
Yes, it wasn't having access to the internet for data.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the biggest difference I think that I saw is that students today know more about the world, about the outside world, than the ones did back in 2002, 2005.
Okay, interesting, really. But actually this probably also can help us to talk more about the marketing sphere.
Okay.
Yes, as you were an instructor of marketing programs, I have a couple of questions too about marketing itself. First of all, I'm interested about the change in marketing strategies and marketing at all according to the difference in digital technologies. As you said, mobiles and internet, they increased opportunities.
Yes.
So what can you say about like the marketing at all? Because previously, it was like advertisement in television, for example,
yes,
and it was popular newspapers,
yes,
brochures, and now, how it changed?
Well, what I have seen, and again, I haven't been involved in actual research and reading a lot about marketing lately, but from my observations, television marketing is very much centered around big events, so the products that will try and make sure that they get the most exposure when there's a lot of people watching the television. A lot of the products, the smaller products, have kind of gone away from the normal television marketing. It's the automotive industry, the alcohol industry, some products like Procter and Gamble, like household item or household cleaning products and things of that nature are still advertised on the television, but some items are still being advertised in magazines, but magazines are disappearing. They've also gone digital. And so right now, Amazon will give me 4 magazines for free every month because otherwise people even aren't reading the digital magazines as much maybe as they used to. And another area that I've seen a lot of increase is, as we know, the search engines. You search for something on Google and the next thing you know, even in your Facebook, every place you go, you're starting to see ads about those products. So right now, I'm traveling a lot, and so if I stay in a hostel in Switzerland, the next thing I know, all of my Facebook ads, my Google ads, I start getting a lot of ads for hostels. So their algorithms that they watch and see, what am I interested in, have gotten very, very sophisticated. And they can pinpoint the information that I look at and give me that information back very
easily.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to cough here.
Okay. But yeah, it's actually very beneficial for the customers. But
yes.
Isn't it really good according to the competition? I mean, because we're talking about apps. We're talking about like telephone apps, like iPhone, Samsung, and so on, Android, and it's not that competitive anymore because there are a dozen already of common apps, and will actually this like branch of marketing work for a long time? How do you think?
I don't think it will work for a long time, just as every other area of marketing has worked for a period of time, and then something changes and when we move on. And so I feel like, you know, this is a period of time, and people will tire of all of this information coming at them. As you can see right now, even people in the millennial age are moving away from Facebook, and it's being left to the babushkas, you know? Or maybe, maybe the boomers and some of those in the United States. But again, the younger people are moving from Facebook to other areas, and so as they move, then marketers have to change their strategies. Certainly, yes.
Yeah, actually, by the way, about like people will get tired.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe as an internet user, I'm really concerned about, like, I'm really annoyed even about advertisement in internet, you know, like a lot of this picture that appear as an advertisement. And I don't know, is there really strict policies in United States with this? Because in Ukraine, when you enter the internet, like the website, doesn't matter which one, you will receive like a dozen information which you really don't need at all. A dozen of different advertisement of different products that are sometimes are even disgusting. What about like the United States? Do you have the same thing there?
What's happened is if they're trying to send it to my email, there are very strict regulations about sending things to my email. If I unsubscribe, then they must remove it and not send it to my email. If it's my Facebook, though, it seems like the only option I have with Facebook is I can unfollow it, or I can say, for example, if a certain site has information that is maybe sexual in nature and I don't want to see it, I can select to not see anything from that site. Okay, so I could either block my friend who has that information on their Facebook, or rather than blocking my friend, I can just block anything from that particular site. So if they have other content that's okay, fine. I can see all of that content, but I just won't see this content that maybe has a sexual nature or maybe has a political nature, and so I can select that.
So if it's not Facebook, if it's just like doesn't matter, any website, and there are like different little bit sexual informational like advertisement. Is it possible? Is it really hard for the people who do this advertisement to get a legal approval of these actions? I mean, is it actually legal? Because it sounds like not at all.
Some of it is legal, and that's why they're able to continue to do it, but the providers realize that people get frustrated and they don't want to see this content, and so because of their research, they have given people options, ways to get around seeing that information. Okay, so the information is still out there. If you want to see it, it's free access to it. Again, we're not talking about child pornography. That is illegal. But if we're talking about something that is adult entertainment and you're an adult and you have in your profile that you're over 18, then certainly that's allowed to come into you. If you have in your profile that you're under a certain age, sometimes those companies block it so that information does not get to younger children. Okay?
Yeah, but it sounds like more regulated actually.
Yes, and it's annoying, and it takes sometimes a lot of trying to figure out all the settings to be able to block those
because
things.
probably there are a lot of hackers in this sphere already. Like internet is developing, and so the people developing their skills.
Yes.
Yeah, but we'll see how it will turn out.
Right. But one thing that we know is that things are always going to keep changing, and so just as a marketing company decides they have a certain strategy and it may work for a certain period of time, things are going to change, the marketing strategy is going to have to change.
It's probably like marketing, it is the study of how to adapt to the changes.
Yes,
You know.
absolutely, yes. And as the internet changes, for example, too, a lot of people moved to cable television at first because there were no advertisements. Now, almost every channel that you go to has advertisements, and some channels are nothing but advertisements. And so cable television has changed, but people are opting out of cable television and going to Netflix, Hulu, Amazon for their movies and entertainment, rather than having to deal with all of the advertisements.
Yeah.
So, again, another change that's come along.
Yeah. So changes and all about changes.
Yes. That's one thing about marketing.
But actually, that's life. That's interesting.
Yes.
Changes.
Yes. But it's interesting though too. There are some things that change, and there are some things that stay the same. And so, for example, when I studied chemistry, well, there's more elements now than there were before. Every once in a while they'll add a new element, but the old ones haven't changed. They're all still the same. And so, but in marketing, things change. The whole structure of it kind of changes more so. And so some people, mathematics.
Oh, mathematics.
Yeah, mathematics has
it's a headache of a student.
But 2 + 2 still equals 4 as long as you're in base 10. Okay.
Yes.
But again, there are new things that are happening, and they're happening at such a high level that most people wouldn't even notice it. Yes, but marketing is one of those areas where it changes in our day-to-day life all the time too. So
probably it's important, then to understand it at least a little bit on the basic level.
So if you don't like to change, it might not be a good idea to go into marketing. But if you like change, then marketing is a good area to go into.
Just for you.
That's exactly right. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much for a good conversation. It
Thank
was
you.
nice to talk to you.
Nice talking with you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.